let's start with the Chiefs Chargers. Chiefs won it 27-21. What were your takeaways from the game?
Well, first off, I look at the fact that the Chiefs, and it seems like the Chiefs have Andy Reid's problem again of not finding that stellar wide receiver because everybody knows about Travis Kelce. And I know Xavier Worthy got hurt in the game and he was out early. But when you have Hollywood Brown, and okay, he did 10 catches, 99 yards. Good. That's nice. They need another compliment. And we see what happened when Mahomes can make all the plays he wants to with his legs and everything. When they don't have that second, two or three decent wide receivers, we see what this offense is reduced to. I also think the Chiefs' pass rush was just, the lack of better words, atrocious. Gave Justin Herbert a lot of
Yeah.
time. And then I look at Justin Herbert as a whole. I mean, we know the bugaboo against him is not winning the big games. And maybe the NFL handed him a bone saying, you know what, we're gonna get you in the first game away from the US on a neutral field or whatever to give him say, okay, we're gonna give you the best chance possible to at least make us competitive. And we saw what happened. And I gotta say, at least for what he did and taking advantage of that lack of a Chiefs pass rush, he did a very good job of picking that defense apart. And even with all the blitzes that defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo was throwing at him. So I think Justin Herbert is off to a good start. Will it last? Will he last throughout the whole entire season? Remains to be seen. But
In my
big win for the
notes, in my notes,
Chargers.
the last thing I have is time will tell on the Chargers. Time will tell. That's the last thing I have. So it's funny you say that. We'll find out in time. I thought Herbert looked really good. 318 passing yards. The thing that impressed me was 16 first downs, 16 passing first downs. That told me that he was taking what the defense is giving him and also seizing moments, kind of merging between the two. The thing that for me, it's Kansas City may be in trouble. I don't want to be that guy. But look, defenses historically struggle in the beginning of the season. So I don't really put too much stock in that. We're going to talk Eagles, Cowboys. I'm really going to put some numbers on this for people that are saying the Eagles look bad defensively because Jordan Love looked spectacular last year in week 1 against the Eagles. And that was the number 1 defense in the league. So, but going back to this game, 2 things that stood out to me that I didn't get a chance to write down, but I wanted to bring to the table. First quarter, first Chargers touchdown. 7 plays, 68 yards. Second quarter, Chargers get a field goal. 9 plays, 58 yards. So essentially, they're getting at least 2 to 3 first downs on those drives. That's something the Chiefs need to look at. You mentioned the pass rush. Kind of putting a face on that is long drives. If you don't have a pass rush, teams can get into third and manageable and can move the ball on you and continue to extend drives and wear your defense down and keep your offense rusty. Now, you go later on in the game, though, on the scoring plays, the Chargers really had they had one play, which was 12 plays, 74 yards, 11 plays, 74 yards. That's yeah, that's fourth quarter action. That's game on the line. Chargers go 11 plays, 74 yards. That's look, it's a divisional game. I still think the Chiefs will be there because they got that SOB at quarterback, that bad SOB at quarterback. But look, man, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm standing next to that guy right now that's saying the Chiefs could be in some serious trouble. What say you?
Yeah, you can't if you can't execute and go on 5 for 14. That like third downs. Everybody talks about how important it is to convert on third downs, keep drives going, what have you. You can't convert it 5 for 14 with Mahomes as your quarterback with Travis Kelce, even if he's on his last. That's a that's an execution play. To me, what third downs is indicative. Okay, you're looking for your clutch players. You're looking for your clutch plays. You're looking for your clutch play calling. And the fact that with this Chargers defense, they're not a slouch. They're not like the worst. They're not the Cincinnati Bengals defense. So
Yeah.
they're okay. The fact you can't convert five, you only convert 5 of your 14. That's
Yeah.
a big problem. One game, okay, what have you. That's a huge problem for us. And if it continues to go down this road, it could be a wrong thing. And I know it's kind of funny too. It's weird. It's like talking about the Chiefs. That remember the bugaboo we used to always hear about the team that lost the Super Bowl in the season afterwards, how
Yeah.
they could struggle in that one too. Chiefs find himself in that position. It doesn't, and it always doesn't have to be ugly. It doesn't have to be, well, you're 5 and 12 and you're out and you're not making plays, what have you. But it can happen where you start to take a bigger aggression back because he played, and then also think about how many games they played over the last 4 or 5 seasons. That
Mm-hmm.
takes its toll on you too. This is not a good start, and this is something that I think is going to have to keep working on there.
And we talked about this in the previews, and people can go back and watch the tape. We talked about, the Chargers. We were lockstep and barrel on was that division is going to be good. And I'm not a Sean Payton fan. I don't think I think he's an okay coach, but he's an okay coach. I think Pete Carroll is a Hall of Fame coach, and Jim Harbaugh, Hall of Fame coach. Those are some damn good coaches in your division, ready to rock and roll. Andy Reid's got a book on him because he's been there that long. You've been around that long, you know people's tendencies, and you can't hide. You are what you are in this world. The thing that really stood out to me was the long drives at in the fourth quarter. To give up an 11-play drive when the game, when you're really getting when you finally got the back sweat going, you're ready to go. It's football season has started. Fourth quarter, you got third quarter, your legs are heavy. Second quarter, you're getting but by fourth quarter, it's kicked in. The muscle memory is kicked in. And the Chargers kicked your ass. They kicked your ass. They got a first down off of blown coverage. Yeah. And the veteran went inside. Chris Jones goes inside to try to he got greedy. And he got handed it to him. And then, so look, statistically, Herbert looks good. Execution-wise, I love what the Chargers did. I think 7-11 on for third down. So I was very impressed by that. But the one thing that impressed me was how focused they were to win that game. And time will tell about the Chargers. We don't want to they got a rough road coming up. They come home, they come home, but they go to Las Vegas. They got the Raiders and they got the Broncos. If they're for real, they'll be 3-0. It's just that simple. If they're for real, they'll be a 3-0 team to start the season. If they're not, what they've always been, they'll be 1-2, possibly 2, because somebody went to bed. Now,